Tekrardan merhabalar arkadaşlar, selamlar sizlere. Evet, bu haftanın son ders saatini işliyoruz ve kaldığımız yerden devam ederek haftayı bitireceğiz sizlerle. Evet, şimdi bir önceki dersimizde hatırlarsanız Air Travel isimli 8. üniteye başlamıştık. Alıştırmalarımızı yaptık. En son 3 tane conversation dinledik. Nerede geçti, ne sorunlar vardı onları yaptık. Şimdi kaldığımız yerden dediğim gibi devam ediyoruz. Yes, now we have a new listening exercise here. We are going to listen to 4 different passengers at the airport information desk, and we are going to complete the expressions below. We are going to complete these empty spaces in each expression, okay? All right, then. We are going to listen. Let's go.
Unit 8, page 69. Exercise 7. 1.
Excuse me, where's the nearest restroom?
Restroom? Ah, yes, the toilets. Go right here, then go straight on past the check-in desks. When you get to the end, turn left. They are on the right, just after the lifts. I mean, elevators.
So that's past the check-in counters and turn left, and they're on the right.
That's right.
Thank you.
2.
Is this the tourist information office?
No, this is the airport information desk. If you want tourist information, you should go across the terminal, past the cafe and the airline offices, and then turn right. It's on the left, between the car rental offices and the hotel reservation desk.
So, it's at the other end of the building, between the car hire offices and hotel reservations.
Yes.
3.
How do I get to the departure gates? I'm in a hurry.
You need to go right here, past the check-in desks. Then take the escalators or the lift to the first floor to go through security. Then follow the signs for your gate number.
Cheers.
4.
Excuse me, which way to the airport bus?
Go through the exit door on the left and turn right. You'll see the bus stop just outside the terminal building.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, then. We are going to give directions, right? Giving directions. Okay. 1. Go right here. Then go blah blah past the check-in desks. Then go, what was that? Go straight on past the check-in desks. Go straight on past the check-in desks. Evet. When you get to the end, blah blah. When you get to the end, what was that? Turn left. When you get to the end, turn left. They are blah blah just after the lifts. They are on the right. Remember, they are on the right just after the lifts. Okay, the second one. If you want tourist information, you should blah blah the terminal. What was that? You should go across the terminal. If you want tourist information, you should go across the terminal, blah blah the cafe and the airline offices, and then turn right. What was the 5th empty space? You should go across the terminal, past the cafe and the airline offices, and then turn right. It is on the left, blah blah the car rental offices and the hotel reservation desk. It is on the left, between the car rental offices and the hotel reservation desk. Okay. The third one. Then take the escalators or the lift to the first floor to blah blah security. Escalators or the lift to the first floor. Escalator dediği de hani şu yürüyen bantlar var ya arkadaşlar, onlara verilen isim. To the first floor to go through security. Then blah blah for your gate number. Then what was that? Follow the signs. Then follow the signs for your gate number. And the last one, go through the exit door, blah blah, and turn right. Go through the exit door on the left. Go through the exit door on the left and turn right. You will see the bus stop, just blah blah, the terminal building. You will see the bus stop just, what was that? Outside, right? You will see the bus stop just outside the terminal building. All right. Now we will move on to the next page. Flight safety. Uçuş güvenliği demek arkadaşlar. Tahmin edebiliyorsunuzdur. Uçuş güvenliği. Flight safety. Okay, what do you know about the job of an air traffic controller? Hava trafik kontrolörü. What do they do during the different stages of a flight? 1 to 3. What are those different stages of a flight? It is 1, take off, 2, during the flight, and 3, landing. What do they do during these 3 stages of a flight? Now we are going to listen to an interview with an air traffic controller, and we are going to find the answer to these, okay? Listen very carefully. Okay, let's go.
Unit 8, page 70. Exercise 2.
Which airport do you work at, Santiago?
Actually, I don't work at an airport. I work at an area control center.
I see. So you don't work in an airport control tower and you don't see the planes?
That's right. You see, air traffic control is divided into a number of different jobs. The job of the controllers who work at airports is to help the pilots during takeoff, as they fly the planes out of the airport and during landing when they arrive. At peak times, there is a lot of traffic at big international airports, and airport terminal controllers are responsible for directing all this. They coordinate all the different takeoff and landing times, make sure that the aircraft have enough room to maneuver, and that there is a safe distance between them. The en route or area controllers, like me, help to guide the pilots and direct air traffic flow between airports. We use radar and computer systems to follow the exact position of each aircraft in flight.
Okay. So it is a brief listening, but it gives you, I think, the idea. Okay. What an air traffic controller do during takeoff, for example? During takeoff. Well, during takeoff, they help the pilot, right? They help the pilot, and they also coordinate the takeoff of the planes, takeoff, and they also coordinate the landing. And the times of these takeoffs and the times of the landings. And they should make sure that there is enough room for the aircraft, the planes, to maneuver, on the way to take off. And they also make sure that there are enough spaces between each aircraft so they won't crash into each other. It's a great danger. So they make sure that there's a safe distance between each aircraft. Okay. What do they do during the flight? Well, they guide the pilots through their journey. They guide them, and they can each see each plane's exact locations on the radar. And basically, they direct the airflow, the airflow, air traffic. And that's it. They control the air traffic by seeing each aircraft's exact position on the radar and directing them. And that's it. And as for landing, I think they do the same thing as takeoff. They guide and they help the pilots for their landing by controlling the traffic on the air and on the at the airport, right? Okay, I think that's it. Now we have a reading exercise. We are going to read the journalist's notes from a press conference. We have 4 journalist notes from a press conference given by the ICAO, which means International Civil Aviation Organization. Aviation means havacılık, uçuş. Uluslararası Sivil Havacılık Organizasyonu tarafından verilen bir basın konferansından notlar okuyacağız arkadaşlar. And we are going to find out what the conference was about. There are 3 choices here. A new organization responsible for aviation safety. B, a language test for pilots and air traffic control. Or C, new licenses for international airports. Which of it is true? We are going to see it. Okay. What is this conference about out of these 3 things? Okay, let's read them first and find out. The first one is, every few seconds, a plane takes off or lands somewhere in the world. The pilots who fly the planes and air traffic control, ATC in short, air traffic control services, which direct the planes, all use the same systems. Okay. The second is systems established by International Civil Aviation Organization, a UN agency responsible for international air transport and improving aviation safety. 188 member countries follow ICAO recommended practices and standards for international pilot training and licensing. 3. Research and poor communication between pilots and ATCs is a contributing factor in some fatal accidents. In response, ICAO has introduced new language requirements. Pilots and ATCs now have to pass a new English language test to get a license. And 4, pilots and controllers must obtain minimum level ICAO operational level 4 to work on international flights, have to be proficient in ICAO parasiology, which means aviation English, and plain English, have to take tests every 3 years to keep license. So I think we can say that the conference was about B, a language test for pilots and air traffic control, right? I think we can easily say that. All right, let's move on. We are going to complete these 5 sentences with the words in bold from the texts in exercise 3. So we turn back and let's take a look at the words in bold. We have requirements, we have standards, proficient, parasiology, and plain English. We are going to put these 5 expressions or words in these 5 sentences. Let's make it smaller so we can all see them all. Okay. Okay, 1. The blah blah are the levels of quality that the ICAO expects of its members. The blah blah are the levels of quality that the ICAO expects of its members. So What comes here? Which one? Which word or expression comes here? Okay, it's going to be standards, right? The standards are the levels of quality that the ICAO expects of its members. Okay, 2. A phrase used to describe language which is clear, simple, and direct is a phrase used to describe language which is clear, simple, and direct is plain English, right? Plain English. Düz, basit İngilizce arkadaşlar. Which is clear, simple, and direct. Okay. 3. The ways words are used in a particular specialty or subject is its parasiology. Yes, it is parasiology. The ways words are used in a particular specialty or subject is its parasiology. Okay. And 4, essential things that you need because of a rule or law are essential things that you need because of a rule or law are requirements. Requirements. And 5, if you are blah blah in something, you are skilled and experienced. If you are proficient, değil mi? Proficient in something, you are skilled and experienced. All right. We have modal verbs here. I think you know those things, but let's take a quick look, okay? Modal verbs. 1, obligation. In obligation, we use must and have to. When something is a legal obligation or absolutely necessary. Pilots must renew their qualification every 3 years. Yani bu bir zorunluluk arkadaşlar. Bunu yapmadan pilotluğa devam edemiyorsunuz. Mecbur yani. Or air traffic controllers have to speak English if requested. Evet, gerektiğinde bunu yapabilmeleri gerekiyor arkadaşlar. Mecbur. 2, prohibition. Yasak. We use be allowed to or be not allowed to or mustn't when something is not permitted. For example, the English test mustn't be aviation parasiology only. Olamaz. Yasak. Başka şeyler de olmak zorunda yani. Student pilots are not allowed to carry passengers. Evet. Öğrenci pilotlar yolcu taşıması izin verilmiyor, kesinlikle yasak. We use don't have to when something is not necessary. Don't have to yani gerekli değil anlamına geliyor. Bunun prohibition'la hiçbir ilgisi yok arkadaşlar. Sadece gerekli değil anlamında. Permission. Use be allowed to when something is permitted. Are pilots allowed to do the test online? We can also use can for permission also. And there is advice. We use should to give advice. Well, bazen arkadaşlar must ve should birbirine karışıyor ama should'da bir tavsiye var. Yani bunu yapmalısın ama hani bu kanunlar tarafından verilmiş bir şey, yani yapmazsan olmaz gibi bir şey değil. Hani yapmanı tavsiye edilen bir şey anlamına gelir. We use should to give recommendations and advice. Member countries of the ICAO should follow its standards, but there is no legal obligation. Hani yapmak zorunda değil, yani yasal bir bağlayıcılığı yok ama yapsalar iyi olur yani anlamında. Okay. Now we are going to complete these sentences below. The 6 sentences about passenger regulations with the modal verb forms in the box. We have allowed to, must, mustn't, and should. Now we are going to complete these 6 sentences with these 4 modal verbs, okay? All right. Passengers, blah, blah, read the aircraft safety card. Passengers, blah, blah, read the aircraft safety card. Uçağa bindiğinizde cepte oluyor ya bir güvenlik kartı, onu okumaktan bahsediyorum. Passengers should read the aircraft safety card. Okumalılar. Ama hani okumazsanız uçaktan atılmıyorsunuz yani. 2. Passengers, blah blah, fasten their seatbelts during takeoff and landing. Now that is an obligation, so we should use must. Passengers must fasten their seatbelts during takeoff and landing. 3. You aren't blah blah smoke on board the plane. You aren't allowed to smoke, right? You aren't allowed to smoke on board the plane. 4. You blah blah block the emergency exit. Acil çıkışları ne yapamazsınız? Kapatamazsınız. You mustn't. Kapatmamalısınız. Block the emergency exits. 5. Passengers are not blah blah use their mobile phones during the flight. Ne olacak? Passengers are not allowed to use their mobile phones during the flight. And 6. You blah blah inflate your life jacket inside the aircraft. You mustn't inflate your life jacket inside the aircraft. Okay. Evet arkadaşlar. Zamanımız doldu. Alıştırmalarımı burada bitiriyorum. Haftanın son dersinde böylelikle bitirmiş olduk. Kaldığımız yerden önümüzdeki haftanın derslerinde, videolarında devam edeceğiz. O zaman herkese iyi haftalar diliyorum. Kendinize çok iyi bakın. Önümüzdeki hafta görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın gençler.